I feel welcomed.
All right, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Now, just a bit of a background, please, Honorable Councillor. Please give us a bit of a background of this alienation scheme. What exactly is it about?
The alienation was introduced by the government of Namibia through a cabinet decision already in 1992.
Okay.
The cabinet directed the then Ministry of Housing and Local Government, and then that alienation scheme is whereby properties of the government was alienated to the local authorities, which would eventually alienate these properties to the residents. Unfortunately, due to the then background of Rehoboth, we were unable to benefit from this program.
Okay.
Thus, people were forcefully removed from what was then called Block D, and the old location, and they were now put back in Block E. Now, when they went or were moved to Block E, they were given houses, especially the brick houses, which was owned by the Rehoboth Town Council then.
Okay.
And later, the people were not enough for those brick houses, and they were given the Erwin and also Captain Hans Dirgat houses. So that in itself was, since then, the people could not own these properties. And the councils before us were trying to get this program on, whereby these people will also benefit and become homeowners of this property that they've been living for since 1978. And it was unfortunate, but with the help of our regional governor and the different stakeholders such as Ministry of Urban, Ministry of Finance, and the Prime Minister's Office, we are able to get to the stage where we are, where the town council can now alienate this property, and the residents of Rehoboth, particularly Block E, would now own property, and this will also encourage them to pay rates and taxes to the councils.
Okay, so if I understood you correctly, the inhabitants of Rehoboth were then living in Block D, you said. So when they were living in there, it's more like a rental arrangement, or were they living in there? What arrangement was there?
You know, when they were living in Block D, that was when that's the original place that they were living in.
Okay.
So they were forcefully, by the then government, they were forcefully removed, and they were in 1978.
Is this the
apartheid government?
Apartheid
yes.
government. Okay.
So they were removed forcefully, and they were forced to go and live in Block E.
Okay.
Now, property that was owned by the state then was given to them to live in.
Okay.
Just like the Karatura Hochland Park thing.
Yes.
So that is the background of it.
Okay. No, duly noted. We are learning it. I'm actually happy to learn that this is actually the background history of the whole Block E. Right. Now, Ms. Peters, briefly explain to us the significance of this official handover. I understand that there are 609 properties that, including the brick houses, that will be handed over to the beneficiaries, and what then this would represent to the housing development in the Rehoboth town.
Thank you so much. If I may just correct to the previous question, the people that are beneficiaries of this scheme is the people living in Block E, not the residents of Rehoboth.
Okay.
It's only the people that are currently living in Block E who has been forcefully moved from Block D to Block E, that was at that time known as the slums.
Okay.
So this, to us and to the town and also to the Namibian government, is a great move because, as it was alluded earlier, these houses belong to the then government. Okay. But because of some challenges that was there, these people could not own these houses, neither could they buy it. So now currently, as much as there were challenges, the town council, through the assistance that was mentioned there, the various stakeholders that play a part, especially our regional governor, Honorable Salman Mentos April, who has been pushing this towards where we are today. It has quite a big impact on the people of Rehoboth, because imagine you have been living all your life into a house. Some of the residents of these houses are now deceased, and we are now, it's generational. So people never owned these houses from 1978. But now come 2024, come 2025, they are now homeowners.
They are going to be given
Yes,
title deeds.
Yes, they're going to be given title deeds and they're going to be property owners.
Okay.
The property that they have lost back then are now, their dignity basically is being rightfully owned and dignity restored. So as much as it has the significance to the individuals who are the beneficiaries, it also has a great impact on the town in general, because previously these owners did not pay rates and taxes, as these houses were not part of the valuation role of the council, as it was council property. Now we can generate income and revenue from it.
Okay.
As the people will be starting to pay rates and taxes, and also the prepaid water systems that will be installed in these houses will ensure that council will finally generate income from these properties.
Okay.
So basically 26 million is being written off, and 57,000 is being spent on the transfer
costs.
But the ripple effect of this impact it's quite big.
Okay. So I just want to establish then that there are utility services in this, of course, Block E, right? Given that now they will be liable to paying rates and taxes.
Yes, there are still services at these houses, but due to this accumulated debt, most of these houses services are suspended.
Okay.
And people did not have access to water. Or some of them did have prepaid meters, but the basic services were suspended, and now with this transition, they will be starting from zero. So if these prepaid systems are implemented, then we will start to generate income.
Okay.
Then they will start paying, because the debts, since, like I'm saying, some of these accounts are from deceased parents. Most of these people, especially in this area, are unemployed. Young people that are coming from poor backgrounds. So joblessness also played a big role into why these houses were not alienated in the past.
Okay.
So now some houses are sitting with debt over 30,000 or maybe even 50,000. And currently with the prepaid system that will be installed, they will be starting from zero. And
okay, so this means that given that they are now starting on a clean slate, they are starting from zero. So the prepaid water meters that were there, or electricity, when we say prepaid, is this water or electricity?
both.
Or is it both?
I think what is important to note is that at the moment, as the debt has accumulated to such an extent that the residents of Block E, particularly those areas that I've mentioned, are unable to pay.
Okay.
So with this cabinet decision that was taken to write off these 26 million so that these residents can start on a clean slate, it has significance, because these people will now be able to, those of them those houses that were disconnected because of non-payment will now also start on a clean slate, and they will start from zero, and the services will be reconnected.
Okay, that's good to know. Note, and I'm sure it is honestly going to be refreshing to the inhabitants or residents of Block E, right? Now, Mr. Karonge, I'd like to find out from you, what measures are being implemented to ensure the sustainability of the alienation scheme and debt management to avoid beneficiaries ending up in debt moving forward?
Good morning again, Helena. As my Honorable Councillor alluded to, and my colleague, we have put in system a management plan, which is through that once we register these properties, we'll provide prepaid meters, that's for water and electricity, which will initially lead to it that our beneficiaries will not get back into debt.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, the cabinet decision is very clear that we wanted to restore the dignity and ownership of these properties. And it's very clear statedly in the decision from cabinet that within the next 10 years, after the transfer, these properties cannot be sold and cannot be leased out.
Cannot be sold, pardon me, they cannot be sold,
Cannot be sold,
Or
cannot be
leased
leased out.
but only the occupants are eligible to living in those houses.
Yes.
Okay, right, one. I mean
Thirdly-
two. No, thirdly, yes.
After these 10 years, or within these 10 years, whatever happens, and you would like to sell the property, you need to come back to council, because council has the first right to buy the property back.
Okay.
And as also said earlier on, looking at the debt that have been written off, that's 26 plus million, plus the transfer cost. The provision of the prepaid meters is going to cost the council another 2.5 million, which we are doing for our community on behalf of the government.
Okay. No, it's really a commendable, initiative. It's one of a kind that was never, ever done in this country as far as from the town council point of view is concerned. I do know of an arrangement that was done previously by a prominent business figure in this country who wrote of debts of certain, like in, is it Belfast Bay, I believe, and Combat, and Grootfontein, I believe. So, but it is really one commendable one, and I believe that the other town councils that are watching this session live are probably learning, and I'm quite intrigued to know. But I know for a fact that they will actually be in contact with you to find out about this, because this to me is a best practice. And I know that they will be knocking on your doors so that you can assist them, in putting measures and systems and processes in place to ensure that they too can go through this transitioning. And of course, it will have a, I know you said it has,
effect.
yes, a ripple effect, but eventually it is something good.
Yes, I'm really happy that we are the driving force behind this and that we are part of it. Like the land conference that we hosted last year, from which this is one of the
Emanating
milestones
from.
of the land conference. And I can proudly say that there were some councils that has followed our example. Hendy's Bay Municipality did have a land conference, and we have various programs. In fact, in terms of land development, that other councils has requested our assistance. And like I always say, we are here to serve, and the job that we do is quite important because we represent government at the grassroots level. So the successes that we have within our towns determine the success of government at the end of the day.
Right.
So we are standing ready for any other council that wants to benchmark from us. We have motivated, or in fact, the villages within the region. Whenever we have outreaches, we do encourage them to request our assistance, because we are there. Like I'm saying, at the end of the day, we are not doing this for Rehoboth, we are doing this for the nation and for the government. So regardless of our affiliations or whatever, when we are in our offices, we are there to serve, and we are ready to assist, and we can be benchmarked. As this is really big.
It is
and
big.
I'm one of those people that the first day that we were there, I even said to the councillor, I shed tears. I was crying when I saw how happy this, especially the old people.
It is.
The old mothers that were there, most of them are single households.
Yeah.
And as a woman, I felt so good about it. And we were crying when we saw the first day when you got the letter. I could also not believe it. So we are excited, ecstatic to make this really a reality.
I'm really, really honestly impressed. And I need to calm down my emotions, because I'm almost getting emotional now, but yeah. Okay, Namibia, if you are just tuning in, you are tuned into the offices and offices, ministries and agencies information sharing session. This is the Friday edition, and this morning we are, as always, we are coming to you live from the Government Information Center studio. And this morning we are talking the Rehoboth Town Council's alienation scheme of Block E brick houses. And as earlier mentioned, I am joined in the studio by representatives from the Rehoboth Town Council, and they are here to help shed more light on this really commendable and commendable initiative, I would call it, because really it speaks to humility. And I am so humbled to be this morning in the presence of the Rehoboth Town Council's representatives, who are quite thoughtful and, you know, have the nation's, the Rehoboth inhabitants' concerns and worries at heart. I am really impressed to hear from you guys, and I truly think that other town councils are watching this morning, and they will be learning a lot from this conversation. Now, you too, Namibia, can be part of this conversation by following the discussion on our social media platforms, where we are streaming this show live. On Facebook, we are at Ministry of Information and Communications Technology, or you can stream us live on our YouTube channel, and our handle there is MICT Namibia. Now, Honorable Karisab, I'd like to know, how does these initiatives align with the broader goals for the land management that was held last year in November, if I'm not mistaken? How does it align?
Yeah, Eleni, what we need to know is that this is an effort from both central government up till the third tier government, which is now the local authority. And we need to also recognize the efforts of those that helped us in this process. Especially what was significant was the Honorable Governor that stood tall and that took us to the Minister's offices. Honorable Utoni, Rastus Utoni, the Line Minister, that took this presentation to Cabinet, the Cabinet Minister that approved, and then the President that signed it. So this is an effort where one can say that the different tiers of government is working together to get the common goal of serving your people. What is important that I also like to mention is that the government has what I call the NDPs. And as a local authority, we are very close to the people, and we are supposed to align our land delivery goals to those of the at national level. And we have various programs that we aligned with. The land conference was a very good initiative, and from there we learned that giving someone a piece of land is not just giving you a space to live, but it provides so many opportunities, so many families can be there. So what we are having is different programs, not only the Block A alienation scheme. We are having what we are now formalizing in Block in the upper side, Volkshuisvlakte and Burgershoek, the informal settlement we are formalizing. And what is important is that we need, through our land conference, we are able to engage and connect with stakeholders. The biggest challenge for every local authority is to get service land to the people. Right. And it can only be done through partnerships with different stakeholders, and the private sector must come to the table so that we can provide these goals that are national goals from the NDP and also local authority goals. Okay. So we are inviting we do have stakeholders. We should also recognize that came already on board, especially for the Rehoboth Town Council. But we do have, we must invite other stakeholders, the private stakeholders, to come on board so that we can provide this land and services to the people. Okay.
If I may add to the Honorable Council about the land conference, we were supposed to actually host the conference even this year, but with this cabinet resolution, we had to, this is the first step of the land conference. Right. So, but we are also planning an investors conference next year. And after the land conference, there has been great strides and so much development that is coming for Rehoboth. Like within the next 5 years, we will really see a town booming. We have, even after the land conference, we've made available 81 hectares of land for Namsunga properties. They are currently busy. We have Rio Green Scheme that the council is now making available for agricultural, for food security and sustainable development. And then we have various low and ultra low income programs that the council is also busy with. So I should really say after the conference, we have made great strides. So we'll see when the investors conference is being launched next year, then we will be serious competition for Funduk.
I can tell you that. Yes, Mr. Karange?
Seleni, just to add on to that, I would like to mention that the Alienation project is a way of providing security. And in terms of security, I mean ownership. The moment you have your title deed, you have ownership. Your dignity is restored.
Absolutely.
Yes. And as we all know, this is a generational thing that came
Way back.
way back. Some of us were not even born by then.
Right.
Some were born. And Cabinet took a stance decision. And let's please restore dignity. Let's secure tenure of ownership. After that, administratively, the office is going through a process because we are all looking at the 15th of November, which is going to be the ceremonial day of handing over these title deeds to the beneficiaries.
Wow.
But in the meantime, the office is busy. We have been calling in beneficiaries to bring in their documents. And one good thing to mention is that after we did the presentation at the ministry, we were asked, who are the beneficiaries? Can you give me that list?
You can imagine.
We provided the list. That list was approved by cabinet. So, Helena, I wouldn't know how we'll come fit in there if you were not part of this list.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
So people are being requested. We actually opened up a satellite office at the Anop Hall in Block E because the focus is in Block E. So that the beneficiaries can be closer to the services. We opened up an office where they bring their documents.
That's brilliant.
We even went further and requested assistance from the Namibian police that there is an affidavit that needs to be
Right.
certified and stamped by the
Stamped, yes.
police officers. They are on board. They are with us as we are talking
At the satellite.
at the same office.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
So the excitement
Yeah.
that is there in the town, we can say, we started with this program on Tuesday, and by today we have already over 55 people that have confirmed. So within the next 2 weeks or a week, we will have everybody having confirmed. So our strategy, not just with this, but the strategy of Rehoboth is basically 1 car a day. If we can pull back 1 car from commuting to Windhoek, then we have achieved. So we are looking at land, developing our land to the magnitude that our people should get jobs within Rehoboth and come back home.
Right.
And, then
Not commute.
Yes. So City of Windhoek must actually watch out for us.
No, they definitely are on the watch out. City of Windhoek, I hope you're watching because there's a new kid on the block and they are really very serious with business. Now, Honorable Councillor, I think I'd like to pose this question to you. Now, an initiative of this magnitude, of course, of which I am made to understand that you've started implementing already. I just would like to know, what are some of the challenges that or bottlenecks that you have encountered through this process? Because I can just imagine what amount of influx of, communications that you are having with the community. And, I would like to know what challenges you have encountered through this process.
The challenge is, what is the good thing about Rehoboth Town Council is that we are serving from different political parties, and but when we get there, you are serving Rehoboth. So you'd always get people the challenge now that we are facing is that some people would politicize this, but for us, each of the councillors has a portfolio to serve. And for instance, we are now looking at Rio Spa. Rio Spa is other councillors that are portfolio councillors that would work there. So I think that is the one thing. We should know that this is a government initiative and it's not about a political party. So that is one challenge that we need to clear, and civic education needs to be given so that the people know that we are delivering a service and not campaigning.
So political differences aside
and delivering the service.
Right.
Then the other challenge is we need manpower, especially the office staff. We were asked we were looking at it, the possible challenges, and we saw that we need to employ temporary, maybe 3 to 4 people that will assist with the paperwork. We have also moved, as was alluded by Marx already, that we have also moved to the satellite office, so they are busy renovating it and securing the premises. So those are the challenges. And also, a lot of people we started to eliminate some of the challenges in terms of they had to come to the Rehoboth Town Council, get the documentation and go to the police station. So through aligning with the Minister of Safety and Security, we were able to secure a police officer on site. So as we are getting to the challenges, we are eliminating them. So the challenge that we now have is that the people should come.
Right.
And the people should register. And time is, the set target date is the 15th for the official handover. So we are under pressure of time.
Okay. May I maybe just ask, before I give you the chance, Ms. Peters, may I maybe just ask what documents the residents of Block E need to bring with so that they can, register? Mr. Karonge?
The beneficiaries of the Alienation project are only required to bring the following documents along.
Okay.
So, a copy of the ID, if married, so a copy of the marriage certificate, and the affidavit, which we already have on site.
Okay.
And also to allude to this, we also went out of the way that if our beneficiaries comes around and they need to make copies, we have liaised with the regional council office. We have provided reams of papers so that copies can be made there. So everything is happening like in-house. You can present yourself. We do the necessary administrative work. Then you are done. That's like a 5-minute thing.
So the copies have been made free of charge also?
Yes.
Oh, I love this.
We are delivering.
So thoughtful.
Yeah. And maybe another challenge that my honorable councillor did not touch on is, we dispute.
Pardon me? Sorry.
Dispute.
Oh, dispute.
In terms of
Okay.
ownership.
Yes,
That
yes.
my aunt was living in this house 10
I
years
was about
ago,
to
I'm
ask.
the one now, and I'm the one. And that's why I said that was eliminated by the list that we submitted to cabinet. Yes. Because within this list, Honorable Council, before you come in, within this list, we did a verification of who was actually rightfully given that F or the house in 78 after the relocation, who is a preferable occupant, or to whom should it be transferred. So there are 3 names on that list. If Max says, no, I'm aging, give to Desiree, Desiree name is already there. So I wouldn't know how Helena will come in. Helena will come in there. Yes.
She's the rightful owner.
So some of these challenges, we are already eliminating them already.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to learn.
Because during the committee meetings, issues like this did come up.
Okay.
And it was addressed down there already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Honorable Councillor.
Councillor, you can.
In terms of disputes, like it was said, we had an exercise beforehand. Before we tabled this presentation to the ministry itself, we had an exercise that we went to each and every house that we want to alienate, and then we collected records. Now, the approval was given on those records, so we are alienating to the people that was approved. Disputes, the town council foresaw this, and then we decided that if there are different disputes from people claiming that it's my house, it was my mother's house, what we will do is that we will hold that specific house back, and then we will have what we call a sort of a tribunal where each person will present their case to the council, and because the property belongs to the council, at the end of the day, the council will make an informed and fair decision on those houses. So we are looking at the dispute, but we have a solution. What will happen is that those houses will be withheld and dealt with at a later stage.
Okay.
As it was mentioned, this process started last year around June. Before, it was part of the planning of the land conference, and we had people, my office was responsible for this whole verification and all that. So we had house-to-house calls, we had outreach on Saturdays. We were working from Saturday mornings from morning to in the evening, sometimes up till 7, 8. We were working for even Sundays we were working for this verification because most people work in Windhoek, as I said, and we had to accommodate everybody. So this was extensive. We had our nights and days that we've been working in the sun to do this verifications of who does these houses belong to. So it has taken us at least a year to have finalized everything. And those names that has been done through the verification has been sent to Cabinet, and Cabinet has approved those names that we've applied due diligence. So if anybody comes up now during this stage and come claim, that's when we say we're just going to withhold the house, and like it was mentioned, we will have a tribunal, and council will investigate the rightful ownership, and then council will decide whether this house will go to whichever family or cancelled at all and then granted, because we have a lot of homeless people in Rehoboth, people that are living in shacks, we have old people that are living in dire situations, destitute situations, so we would not accommodate any disputes or fights or claims of ownerships because we really did our job before and we have done due diligence.
So due diligence was
Yes.
indeed done. Right. Namibia, if you are just tuning in, you are watching the Officers, Ministries and Agencies Information Sharing Session. And as earlier mentioned, this is the Friday edition, and that's with me, Hilani Felepa Samunyela. On this morning's episode, we are discussing the Rehoboth Town Council's alienation scheme of Block E brick houses, pardon me. And I am joined in the studio by a team of well-versed representatives from the Rehoboth Town Council, and they are here to shed more light on the alienation scheme. And I'm actually happy to learn there is so much going on, and I can almost certify Rehoboth as the most thoughtful town council in Namibia, because this initiative, honestly, of writing of debt from the town council's point of view has never happened, apart from the one I referred to earlier that was done by a prominent business figure. But we are talking about town council itself writing off debts of about 26 million completely, and then also, being liable for the 57 transfer costs. Right. And you too, Namibia, can be part of this discussion by following the conversation on our social media platforms, where we are currently live. On Facebook, we are at Ministry of Information and Communications Technology, or you can stream us live on our YouTube channel, and our handle is MICT Namibia. Mr. Karonge, I'd like to find out from you what support and resources will be provided to the beneficiaries of the 609 houses to help them transition into this new home ownership.
Ms. Lenny, as I alluded to earlier, Council have come forth in a way of supporting our beneficiaries of the 609 properties, I will call, because it's brick houses and then you have events. Firstly, that's a provision of free prepaid meters.
Free prepaid meters.
Free prepaid meters, which is going to be for electricity and water. Secondly, is carrying the burden or the transfer cost from council to the beneficiaries. And lastly, it will be the security that we are that we are giving to our beneficiaries, which is in the form of a title deed. You know, the good thing of Rehoboth is that we do have a deeds office. If you launch your transfer on Monday, Friday afternoon, you have your title deed.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that. I think it's
Not
about
like
time.
in Windhoek where you have to hustle for 3 months or 4
I think
months.
it's about time. You've sold
Yes.
me the idea. I think it's about time I move to Rehoboth.
No, you're welcome to move there. So, and then the only thing that we actually asking our beneficiaries is that this is going to be a big thing. They should also bring their part. I know my PRO will get into that, that council have provided its part. They should also get on board in order to make that day a big one.
Okay. Honorable Councillor, maybe you want to expound on that?
I would like to talk, after we got the response from the Treasury, we, as the council, was really, it was a very good day for us. So, but then we recognize also the fact that the major stakeholder, the person that drove this was the governor of the Artab region. And one should also say that Rehoboth Town Council, coming from 3 different political parties, with nobody having a majority, we are the council that really works with the governor. Besides our political affiliation, and the governor went out. We gathered as the task team of Alienation, and then we decided to pay a courtesy call to the governor, and we told the governor, this is the news. Your hard work has paid off. And then what he said is that he was also very emotional, and he sent us back. He said, this is a very big event. We need to invite the highest of us to officiate at this event. Right. And I think the provisional date that was given is on the 15th of November.
Okay.
And that's where we will have the official ceremony. And the governor's office will liaise with the office of the president, because the president is the one that signed over, after the cabinet took the resolution, signed over this decision into working document. So therefore the president office played a significant role. The Rehoboth Town Council is ever also thankful to Honorable Minister Erastus Sotoni that tabled this motion or this presentation to the cabinet,
right,
and was able to gain support from the ministers and in the cabinet. And we are on our way also, as personally as councillors and staff, to go to his office very soon, as soon as we get the appointment, to say thank you for his efforts. So that will be on the 15th. What we are saying is, when we are handing over these houses and property to the people, the people are so excited. As the PRO alluded, people were crying because it has been a struggle since '78, because they had their rightful homes in Block T by that time, and they were forcefully removed, and since then they could not own property, and some of them died before seeing this reality, and now at least their children can benefit from it. So we are appealing to our residents to clean up a bit, to paint the houses, because now it's their property, and be joyous and be there for us when we have the ceremony. But as to the details as to how the event will unfold, I think the public relations officer will come back to you with me, and then she will give you date and shed more light on it.
Okay.
Yes, I really am happy that like the councillor has mentioned, who has been the driving force behind this. And I'm also equally happy and blessed that the technocrats that was on the team, our acting CEO, Mr. Ronald Van Zwy, who entrusted us with this project and said, this is your baby, make it grow. And and the heads of departments, the head of technical and the head of finance, as well as all the other team, the various departments and divisions that has supported this initiative. We had sleepless nights, like I mentioned, and since last year when we embarked on this journey, we have made really great strides in terms of urban planning. And as much as today is the World Urban Planning Day, I'm really also happy that this is coinciding with what we have achieved in terms of planning. So like the councillor has said, we definitely will visit the line ministries that has been playing a very important role in this achievement for our appreciation. And the launch of the official handover, we're just waiting for the highest office in the region and the presidency to inform us when it would be the suitable date. But before the 15th, I will most definitely make the nation know that Rehoboth is coming.
Wow, okay. I can't help but smile even further. I'm speaking under correction, but I believe it's something genuine. The Rehoboth Town Council seems to be very innovative when it comes to putting its citizens first. I know, I understand that the elderly in Rehoboth are also, privy to subsidized rates and taxes when paying for their monthly bills. Is this the case, or am I speaking out of line?
Yes, When we were preparing for the preparation of our annual budget, we the council took a decision that there should be reduced rates for elderly and those that have disability. So it is in fact in place, and in fact there is also a motion that was tabled by one of the councillors that requires that we write off the debts of the elderly. But now we were saying let's move it to the next financial year, because we already are writing off 26 million. So it is in process, and what we're trying to do is provide services and also take care of our residents in that way. Of course, like many other councils, we have challenges, major challenges,
Right.
and operational challenges that we have. But what we are trying to do as a council is to be pro-people. To if we cannot meet them this way, we try to be more humane to them. That's our mission.
Okay.
Yes, we really do have operational challenges, like any local government, especially with regards to the COVID-19 pandemic. The council also had huge financial burdens, but this has already gave us a breather. This alienation has already gave us the breather, and like the council has said, the motion that has been tabled to also look into writing off of other debts of the other residents in the other suburbs. We are 2 weeks ago, the council has instructed the technical team again to look into the debt of historical debt, so that we look at how we can go about doing the same. Because at the end of the day, the community that we are serving are the most important. Without them, we would not have.
We will not be
We
in
are because of them.
existence. Right.
So we have to find ways to meet each other halfway. As much as we want to develop the town, we have to be considerate of the people that we are responsible for.
What I also need to mention is the Rehoboth residents know that currently there is an amnesty program running that writes off all the accumulated,
Historical?
interest.
Interest. Okay.
So although we are not writing off the capital debt, there is the accumulated interest is being written off. It's running. That program is still running, and most of the for 24 months. So most of the residents can benefit from the interest being written off, and also ring-fenced.
Okay. When is this amnesty period coming to an end?
Next year.
Next year around March.
Okay. No, that's good to know.
So we're inviting people that has not visited the offices and has not made arrangement yet. We have debt collection officers, Ms. Nadia and Ms. Desiree. Not me, there's another Desiree who deals specifically with finance and debt collection. So they can visit those offices and make arrangements and ring fencing of the old debt and paying off the interest that has accumulated. And it works, it really works. Every $10 that people are bringing or $1 that they are bringing, it makes a difference. So I encourage people, our residents, that as much as it may be huge on the bill that you're receiving, but that little $50 or $10 that you are paying, that does makes a difference. So please feel free to come to our offices, and let's make Rehoboth the most sought after destination of choice.
Right.
Like I said, the city of Windhoek must watch out. We're the new kids on the block.
Well, no, I'm glad to hear that. We are we've come to the end of our discussion today, but I've taken note that we have media practitioners in the house. I just want to accord them this opportunity now, because this segment is intentionally set aside for them. So if we have journalists in the house who are keen on asking questions to the representatives of the Rehoboth Town Council in the studio with me this morning, please step closer to the podium, briefly put your questions, and get then the responses from the representatives from the Rehoboth Town Council. Briefly introduce yourself and the media house you represent.
Thank you so much, Eleni. Good morning. My name is Shalva Wells, and I'm a reporter at the Media Press Agency.
Okay.
Just with regard to the writing off of the 26 million for the alienation scheme, how will this impact the town's budget and future financial planning? That's number one. Number two, recent reports have indicated, or allegedly indicated, that the last audit for the Rehoboth Town Council was audited or conducted in 2016. Is there any truth to this? And can you just highlight more on this alleged indication? And then we follow up and we've realized that the residents were frustrated because that response was only issued after a while or after a few hours, so no official response was indicated to show that this is what's happening and that there's a reason behind it. But it was eventually recovered, the electricity, but how's the town council working to avoid future errands like that, and what was the main reason behind that? And maybe just lastly, an indication of the debt to NamPower. The last story we covered indicated that the town council owes NAM Water 190 million. Is that still the case, or was the town council been able, through the debt collecting adventure that you had, were you then able to recover some of the debt? Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know whether I will be able to recall all the questions, but
Yeah.
I think, as I've said to you, there are operational challenges that we have as a town council. In terms of the audits, currently, like any other town, I'm not privy to answer that one, but like any other town, we have challenges. But at the moment, we have auditors at our offices that they are conducting the audit from the ministry. So we are waiting on the outcome of the audit, and then we will eventually share the information. In terms of the debt to NamWater and NamPower, we do have challenges, and half of these countries, towns, owe a huge amount of money to those power and water providers. So we do know we have challenges in that regard also. The debt amount I cannot confirm, but we do have a debt of NamPower and NamWater both. Yeah,
The other one was on electricity outage, power outage, yeah.
Yes, Ms. Shelby, you have sent me these questions yesterday regarding the audit report, and I've informed you that I do not have the information at that stage, and I'll come back to you as soon as possible that I have it. Also, with regards to the utility bill that we're having, that we also handled, and I'm thankful that the Honourable Council has responded to it. Like I said, we do have, all the local authorities have challenges with the utility service providers, and the impact of this the amnesty, it's also already a breather, because this has been debt that has been accumulated all over the years, and that has impacted our service provision as well as payment to the service providers. So this is already a relief. As for the power outage and not having responded on time, I think me and you have also deliberated on that, and I also informed you that my phone was at that stage at 1% and I could not respond to you. And as soon as the electricity was recovered, I did respond to the community, and in fact, the next day, when the power outage was still at our offices, I moved my office to a outlet in Block E. What is it? South side, east side, something. Old Namakari, and I moved my office there. They assisted me with electricity, and I used their Wi-Fi as well as there's electricity to connect my laptop that was also power, my battery was flat. So that is when I informed the officers. So basically what I can say is PR at the moment has only 2 officials that are working, and as soon as information come in, we do our best to inform the community of Rehoboth. Our communication strategy is really working, and I'm sure that you can confirm it as well. As for the audit reports, I'll come back to you on that as soon as I have the information available.
Okay. Shelby, you satisfied?
Just the first question with regard to the impact of the town's budget.
Okay.
Yeah. I think because those were property if the impact is that it was bad debts, we could not collect any money from them. So therefore, it is better to write them off with treasury approval. The town council or any local authority doesn't have the right or the authority to write it off. That's why it goes up till cabinet level, and that's where they examine whether these debts are recoverable. So we did not budget for it. We don't budget, we don't include it in the budget because it's bad debt and it's accumulating, and the historical background thereof has also a motivating factor as to people were owning their own houses, but now they are. But the good thing about it is now when the property owners will get title deeds, and when they have ownership under them, they must like any other person, pay tariffs, rates and taxes. So therefore, we are anticipating that more money will come back to the town council because of the rates and taxes that these owners that did not pay previously will now pay. Also, we will now include this property in the valuation roll, which means we will also get money. And the other good for Eleni is that these property owners will now be able to, because in Block E at the moment, you cannot access credit from a bank to expand your house. Now with these title deeds, you are able to go to a bank and get a loan and expand your house, register business, urban and all that. There are so many benefits from this, both for the town and the individuals that will benefit from it, and eventually also to the country.
Right.
Yes, basically, if I may add to that, is that
Yes, please.
Previously, these residents, these 609 properties, did not bring in any revenue to the council
Right.
all these years. So 26 million that has accumulated is a loss to the council. But now, after they receive the title, as it was said, they will not only pay rates and taxes, as it will be part of the valuation roll, but they will pay basic services worth buying prepaid water and prepaid electricity. They will be paying the services for water and for sewer and fire, and all those basic services are included. So there is a tariff that people will pay when they buy their monthly water. So that already is making a difference in revenue collection, and also it will impact the budget positively coming 2025. So that is, we are not looking at the negative of
But rather
but
the
we
positive.
rather look at what the impact that it will be bring going forward.
The sunny side.
Yes.
Okay. Briefly, Mr. Karonge. Yeah.
Just to add on to that, the good thing that we have also proactively looked at is that we would not like our beneficiaries to go back into debt by doing the following.
Okay.
The moment you pay your water, your basic services account is linked to the prepaid system.
Okay.
So the moment you buy your water or your electricity, that small amount of the basic services is catered for. It's catered for what's in it.
Okay.
So you will never, at the end of the
You'll
day,
not debt.
have a debt with the council because you're already paying for it. Yes.
And also, we've also made provision, because we know the circumstances and the backgrounds of these communities, that most of them are pensioners. So in the event that we have also made room, that in the event that they cannot pay the basic charges, but can only buy the water, or no, just water, not electricity, but council will make room for, a certain reduction in payment, but council will make room, but that will not be allowed to accumulate over $1,000. So we will have strict control measures, as to, if you can't afford to pay for your basic services, this basic charges this specific month, we can see how we can accommodate you into paying for it. But
It has to be settled.
it's unlikely that this will happen, because we will be educating the people robustly from not having been paying citizens to residents to paying residents now. So there is going to be a lot of education and one-on-one
course.
consultations involved, from being driven from the PR office. We will have consultations and financial management and whatever training, coaches,
Sensitization,
that we will be doing.
Okay.
But it's unlikely that our people will accumulate that again.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in this morning to speak to us on this very impactful, I'll call it the best practice in this country by far. And I really would just want to thank you so much for taking our time off your busy schedules to come and speak to us, or the Rehoboth, especially the Block E residents, and also the whole Namibia at large, because like I earlier mentioned, of course, the other town councils are watching, and they will be leveraging and benchmarking with you, the Rehoboth Town Council, and learn from this best practice that that is currently underway there. Thank you so much for availing yourself this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Namibia. That is all the time we had for today's discussion. Do join us again next week as we bring you other fruitful discussion here at the GIC. From myself, Ileni Philippa Samunyela, and the entire GIC production crew, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, take care.